Brandon and Woolvey here at Video Blog for 7runningszone.com. We've kind of entered what they call the silly season of the PGA when you start playing the skins game and things like that. Well, we've also kind of entered the silly season a little bit for college football as well. Teams that were disappointing, teams that didn't get what they wanted out of this season, start looking for a new coach to get that for next year, and we're seeing that a lot around the South right now.
Yeah, a lot of fast and furious action can be taking place during bowl games, during bowl week, like during halftime of games that we've seen before. We saw it happen in Louisville several years back. A lot of crazy things happen quickly because you've got to act quick in this day and age, because if not, somebody else is going to be beating you to the punch. And right now we've seen Tennessee act quick, and we're seeing Clemson pull the trigger as well.
I can't imagine the 11-member institutions of the ACC could be any happier this morning than they are right now to find out that Dabo Swinney, someone woefully underqualified for the Clemson head football coaching job, is going to be the head man there going forward. This makes absolutely no sense.
No, this is a disaster for Clemson program. This is when there's such things as bad wins.
Yeah.
These were some bad wins Clemson had, because they made you think that Dabo Swinney is the guy to take the helm of this fine program and lead it into the next decade, and he ain't. His guy is a glorified bagman that is not qualified to be a head coach.
Do they not realize the whole reason why Tommy Bowden got fired to begin with was because Clemson was too talented to lose? Extrapolate that for these 4 wins that he got. Maybe those wins came because Clemson, as we've said a million times, they were too talented to lose.
It's really, I mean, I was just really shocked that they would go this route. I don't even know. I know they talked to some other people and everything, but to think that they got snowed by Dabo Swinney, they're going to pay for this for the next 5-6 years.
Lane Kiffin at Tennessee, I don't know what to make of it. There's a chance it could succeed at a very high level. There's a chance it could be a disaster like his stint with the Oakland Raiders was. One thing I will say, this is by no means a sure thing.
No, it's not, but what makes it, you think Lane Kiffin, like, what's the track record here? It's a young guy, not from these parts. But then you hear the follow-up to that, and he says, oh, we're bringing my dad, Monty Kiffin. You may have heard of him. He's only the best defensive coordinator in the last 20 years of the NFL. That makes it a lot more interesting. Also, he's bringing Ed Orgeron in his bag of tricks with him as his his recruiting coordinator and defensive line coach. That's what all he is. That's what he's best suited for. It's not a bad little trifecta you bring it.
Sylvester Croom's dismissal or resignation, whichever one you want to call it, Mississippi State, doesn't make much sense to me. This is a team that played better last year than anybody would have expected. Bad team this year, and they were really awful. But this feels like another one of those overreactions. Ole Miss has got it cooking now with Houston Nutt. That's going to be a program that's here to stay, but it's not a flash in the pan. So Mississippi State makes some sort of panic situation. That does. I don't like it.
You think this was a done deal before the 45 nothing woodshed in the Egg Bowl?
That couldn't have helped the situation. It couldn't have helped.
Probably not. But what is Mistake going to get? What's their goal? Do they realize, you know what, we can't win doing it the right way? We can't win going about this the way you're set up to win here.
What about Philip Fulmer in Starkville? That's me just speculating.
Yeah, that's
so
just
that's
throwing it out there. Well, we can make it one if you'd like. I don't know. I don't know if I like that at all.
Why not?
I can see Fulmer somewhere else. I think he wants to change conferences. I think he wants to change the scenery a little bit.
Boy, I think...
Because I do believe he's going to coach next year.
I think he would rather coach in the SEC.
No, not a mistake. You can't go to Tennessee to Starkville. You can't go from Knoxville to Starkville. That is just too big of it.
What's going to happen with Tommy Tuberville?
I think he stays. I think he coaches another year. I think next year's going to be a huge year for him. And I think he'll answer the bell, and I think he'll come out firing and have a good season. And because he's a good coach, that's what he does.
How about Charlie Weiss? He's done it.
Yeah, I do. I think he's done.
A lot of money being thrown around.
A lot of money. I don't know where you're going to get him. I mean, you're going to get Brian Kelly because he's the hot name. Is that good? Is that going to take your program into the next millennium? Is that going to excite Notre Dame fan base?
Plus, recruiting in Cincinnati, urban institution versus recruiting at Notre Dame, this sort of national religious school, that feels very different.
It feels a lot different. So, but I won't be shocked if Charlie Weiss gets the gate.
Back on the radio again tomorrow from 11 to 1. Thank you for spending some time with us here on 7runningszone.com. Enjoy the rest of the website while you're here.